Hi, I'm Ryan Levin with the Levin Family Foundation, and I'm here with my family and co-trustees, my Uncle Alan, my mother Karen, and my father Louis. And here in the next 180 seconds, I'm going to give a 70-year history of my family's involvement in film. Some of you may remember some of the good names, the old Kon-Tiki, the Captain Kidd, the Sherwood Twin, the Dixie Drive-In, and it's noteworthy to say that the Dixie Drive-In Theater is still alive, around, and showing 4 great movies each evening. My father, and my uncle, and my mother raised me in an environment around films. He always saw the movie posters, heard about what was playing, what was coming. Most importantly, took me to the theaters at night, where I got to enjoy the sights, the sounds, the spectacle of the movie theater, and see how the sausage was made, as it were, behind the scenes, to see the film whirling about upon reels and through the projectors and back to catch-up reels. And it was a great movie, lifetime experience growing up in that kind of environment. Most kids wouldn't get that experience, and I really enjoyed it. And that is why I think my family inspired me to continue the legacy, to keep the torch alive with our last drive-in theater, our last theater at all, the Dixie Drive-In Theater. And in addition to that, my family has inspired me with our support of the Take Us Home video.
It all started in 1946 when we built the Sherwood Drive-In Theater. Later on it became the Sherwood Twin, and from there we built or bought theaters in Springfield, Ohio, and in Columbus, Chicago, and also Cincinnati. We developed 17 theaters. The thing that inspired Sam to do this movie was the fact that pictures like that were doing gangbusters business, and we thought, why not make a movie and make a lot of money off of it.
The background of the story was involved around the Beatles, and that was his idea. He wrote the play, wrote the film, and Sam, as you might expect, was a very smart guy. I was lucky enough to be a judge in the beauty contest that was in the film, and that wasn't too hard to take.
Well, Sam was a judge too.
That's right. Sam was a judge too, and so was a fun 8 days. Lou keeps telling me that I started it, but I keep saying that he started it. I think I'm more accurate.
I called up all the vendors to get it started, but it was your idea to start the operation. The Pittsburgh operator told us that he was filling up his entire theater with flea market vendors on a Sunday, and that's what inspired us to get started ourselves, and eventually all of our drive-in theaters had flea markets. After a time, they were more successful than the movies.
Doing the movie Take Us Home was one of the most interesting and gratifying experiences. It's a takeoff of doing due diligence for the foundation, because originally that's how the whole thing got started, is by doing due diligence over in Gondar, Ethiopia, for a project we were going to fund. And when I was there, the different stories I heard and the sights I saw, I wanted to know more, and I came back and tried to read books and everything, and it was always from the perspective of the people who were white. It was not from the perspective of the Ethiopians who were actually going through this. There's always trade-offs, and even though you go to a place that's a lot better than you were before, there are always those you leave behind. I think it's a movie that's applicable to anyone who has family members who's immigrated, and it also gives you a very interesting perspective about a story that most people don't know anything about concerning the Ethiopian Jews and their immigration into Israel.
All I knew was that there were Ethiopian Jews, and I read everything I could read, but we didn't know what the story was. I tell stories that are based on human beings. They're very personal. And we went over and then we met families. And when we picked out the families that we thought we wanted to follow over a period, we did. And we went back every time something happened in their lives, and that becomes a very expensive documentary. And that's before you begin editing and post-production or any of that. And the Levin Family Foundation, and Karen Levin especially, made it all happen. And it wouldn't happen without them. There's just no way.